Salesforce, and this is a fantastic company. And a month ago, Ella came on and told us about how she became a Salesforce, or on her way to becoming a Salesforce administrator. But she also told the story of how she went to college, majored into some liberal arts degree, realized that it wasn't lucrative, how she pivoted, went into the finance industry, and how she didn't pivot again and went into tech, where she is right now. Now she's working on certifications. She's getting to the money, making over six figures, right? Making over six figures. And this is an article, this is a story where I want for you guys to think about, if you're not in the tech and you want to find a place in the tech, here's another option for you. Here's another option for you, leveraging a platform that everybody uses, every big time company uses, Salesforce in some aspect of it. CRM. Okay, we're going to talk about a gentleman who was laid off as a restaurant manager in the pandemic. He used Salesforce training, and now he's making over $95,000 a year. He used Salesforce training to land a job in tech. That's what we talk about on this channel, guys. Ways that you can get into tech and make big time money. Here's a gentleman who did it. In March 2020, Tony Nugent became one of 114 million people who lost their job in the pandemic. He used online learning to gain skills for the tech industry since he didn't have any experience. Now he has more flexibility and he's happier in his new role as an admin. So Tony was on his way to building what he hoped would be the next big chain restaurant. Then the U.S. was hit by the coronavirus pandemic. He lost his job and his whole outlook changed. Nugent was a regional director or a regional manager at a Vietnamese sandwich shop in Minneapolis that he worked for 5 years. But in March 2020, Nugent became over 114 million people who lost their jobs. Many of us lost our jobs during the pandemic. Many people, especially if you're in hospitality and retail, nope, you know what happened. You was on unemployment checks and getting them. But I'm not going to say I wasn't happy, but I could have been in a more tune with myself by surrounding my surroundings and my family. Nugent, 29, said, I was making a lot of sacrifices. Nugent's friends told him that Salesforce is free. It has a self-paced online learning platform and called Trailhead, and how he gained new skills for a tech-focused role. Now he works as a Salesforce administrator at Calabrio, a computer software company in Minneapolis that uses Salesforce software. While Nugent declined to share his exact salary, to a spokesperson for the Salesforce pointed to a data showing admins typically earn about $95,000 a year. So as the pandemic continues to shape the U.S. workforce, people who are laid off and workers wrapped up in the Great Resignation, we are tuning into online learning to learn new skills and get higher paying jobs. And over 3.5 million learners have used Trailhead to upskill, said Chris Lund. So I don't know what Trailhead is, but obviously it looks like a platform where you can learn new skills and so forth in the tech. Go ahead and check it out. I haven't looked at the site yet, and I will go check it out as well. But this is from Business Insider, and typically Business Insider, their information is valid. But check out Trailhead to upskill. And the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Community at Salesforce, which plans to create 9.3 million jobs in Salesforce ecosystem by 2026. Look at that, guys. Holy... I see why Ella wants to go this route. 9.3 million jobs in Salesforce ecosystem by 2026. You think about as Salesforce continues to expand its business, right? It's in just about every single company. You start a business, you have a good medium size, you're going to have some sort of Salesforce system, right? And people need admins to be able to help cleanse data and change data and make some sort of configuration changes and so forth. So the role is very, very lucrative, but also the role is not. It doesn't have a high barrier of entry to get into. It's actually a low barrier of entry when you have tools and sites like Trailhead that'll help you upskill. But you think about the job outlook for this 9.3 million jobs that's going to be created for just the Salesforce ecosystem by 2026. That's huge, guys. Another path that you can take I don't care if you're already in a tech career. IT support help desk potentially. If you want to get into Salesforce, which you probably already have experience with supporting, you can become a Salesforce admin. You make even more money. But Nugent shared his with Insider the steps that he took to transition from working in the restaurant industry to landing enroll in tech with no experience, and how he gets to blend his customer service skills with technical skills that he learned online. This is something that brother Kev Tech IT Support said when he was on the show on Wednesday. He talked about being in the restaurant industry. So this is a very similar story to what we talked about on Wednesday with Kev Tech IT Support. Kev Tech IT Support was in the restaurant industry, worked for some of my favorite restaurants, Qdoba, right? Chipotle, right? NYPD as well too, doing a balance of multiple things, right? Went into the help desk as well too. Wanting to get into tech to have more flexibility like this gentleman had, right? And he decided that he wanted to get training, upskills, so forth, do labs. Now he's showing you how to do it on his channel. But this is very similar to this gentleman right here as well. He said, finding a place in an evolving industry. The tech industry was always appealing to Nugent, who said he loved playing video games when he was growing up. Being in front of the screen is pretty normal for me, he said. As a regional manager, Nugent said there were months where he'd work nonstop. After he was laid off, he knew he didn't want to go back to the restaurant industry. So it burnt him out. It burnt him out. Like many of you. Could be a truck driver away from your family. Could be in the restaurant industry away from your family. Could be in the hospital away from your family. Getting sick. Maybe you're burnt out. You're not in tech yet. You could be, working retail at Kmart, Walmart. This is another way that you guys can get into tech. So in April 2020, Nugent lost his job and was living with his cousins in a basement. That's when he started looking for management roles in tech. Since he had more experience working with people, it wasn't until his friend told him about Trailhead that Nugent realized that there was a place for him to learn skills and get tech-focused jobs as a Salesforce administrator. He was a manager, so you already know that his soft skills are pretty dope. Right? His soft skills are pretty dope, like brother Kev Tech IT Support. That's something that he talks about all the time. You can leverage those skills that you have in these other industries and transfer them over into the tech industry. If you have good soft skills, you can be a person who's customer facing, making a whole bunch of money. You don't have to just be a tech head, being a developer. He became a Salesforce administrator. All he had to learn was the technical part of Salesforce. That's all he had to learn. And hard skills are so much easier to learn than these soft skills, right? It takes years to be able to master how to talk to customers, how to educate them, how to have empathy, how to train. That's why a lot of these people who have these good soft skills, they can go into sales and make $1 million a year. Or you can become a cloud architect, pre-salesman, like Durian wants to be, all right? And make a whole bunch of money. It's the soft skills that's very important. And I say this all the time to some of the grads that are asking what kind of jobs they can do. I say customer service. Customer service is important. You leverage that in every single role that you're going to have, even as a developer. But you can see that you can get into tech and make a whole bunch of money without having to be super technical. He's a manager, and he said, okay, well, I've been managing people for a while. How can I use these management skills and get to a nice position? Okay, well, you looked in Trailhead, right? And according to Land, Trailhead had a 40% increase in signups and 50% increase in learning engagement during the early stages of the pandemic. Said, we definitely saw an influx of learners come to Trailhead during the COVID. Lon says, there's so many people that were having that moment of reflection. Do I want to keep doing what I'm doing right now? How do I change my career path? On the Trailhead platform, Nugent said he became hooked as he earned rewards and badges that he compared prizes in video games. He spent over 6 hours a day for months going through the Trailhead modules, which taught him hard technical skills for being an admin and soft personal skills like how to practice equality in any workplace. And in November 2020, after about 7 months on Trailhead, Nugent got a job offer from one of his mentors in the Trailblazer community. Today, as an admin, Nugent helps the business automate their processes, create reports and dashboards, and train users on Salesforce. My day-to-day is very unique, Nugent says. Dealing with a wide range of people has been really fun. A career switch is worth it. Through Salesforce, Nugent said he was able to find supportive community to encourage him to continue pursuing a tech role. And while on Trailhead, For example, he became a part of Pep Up Tech, a nonprofit that helps underrepresented people land tech jobs. He was also connecting with other Salesforce administrators on LinkedIn and Twitter to ask for guidance throughout his training and job search. Guys, if this doesn't remind you of the conversation I had with Kev Tech IT support on Wednesday, you must have missed it. Because not only did he get the job, not only did he network, he's leveraging his network. Not only is he involving himself in other things outside of his job, he's helping others do it as well. Giving back to the underrepresented. Guys, that's how you network. That's how you continue to build relationships. That's how you continue to have people offering you jobs. That's how you go, from being months of unemployed to having a job within 3 months. If you are networked pretty well and you show value and you're helping other people. So he said one of the biggest differences in his new job is freedom, Newton said. When he was a restaurant manager, he had to physically be at work, sometimes up 7 days a week for months with no break. He said in the tech industry, he can work anywhere and spend more time with his family. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. You guys saw the show that I had, I think it was last week, where, Teresa had to take, Ari to get a shot or something like that. And my son Aegis was here and I had to pause in the middle of the show, right? But it's the ability to have the flexibility to do the things that you need to do. Be at home, spend time with your wife, spend time with your kids. That's what tech allows you to do. It allows for you to have a side hustle as well, too. To do things on the side, to make more money, to have a YouTube channel, to teach other people the things that you know. Tech, guys, flexibility. Ultimately, he said, changing his life to find a career that made him happier was worth it. Anyone who's in the middle of thinking, hey, I want a career switch, I want to change my life around, I'll say, give it a try, Newton said. It's paid off for me. It's scary, but go and do it. I love this one, guys. I love this article. Because it talks about, ways that you can get into tech that's different from a lot of other people going the traditional route. It doesn't talk about he has college or not. It just talks about he has the experience in another way that he can do it and get in a tech job without having to go to college, potentially, right? He went on Trailhead, learned some new skills, networked himself into a position as an administrator. Now he's making money. Now he's helping others do it as well, too. And he's probably going to ladder climb because he's continued to network and gain more skills. It's important, guys. It's an important part of the package.